Creating backup files when you're using AutoCAD Electrical is very important. And my suggestion is that you always back up the entire project folder, especially if you're working in a server client environment in an office, for example. Now, AutoCAD allows you to back up every drawing that you save. If I just right-click and go onto my shortcut menu here, just my default shortcut menu there, and go to Options, there is a backup and save option in the Options dialog box. Let me just get that central on the screen there. If I go to the Open and Save tab, which is open already, it's this area here, File Safety Precautions. So you can see that I do an autosave every 10 minutes between saves. Now, older versions of AutoCAD, that default value was 120 minutes, 2 hours. You can lose a lot of data in 2 hours, and I can guarantee that if it was set to 120, your computer would crash on that 119th minute, just before that autosave kicks in. Now, the other thing I always do is I create what is called a backup copy with each save, a BAK file. Make sure that you do your autosave, and what you do there is in your Files tab, you've got an automatic save file location. Now, mine just goes to a default temp folder on my laptop, purely for training purposes so that I know where they are. But you could obviously specify something like a server drive so that if your local PC with AutoCAD Electrical crashes, you can then go to another PC, log in, and use the AutoCAD Electrical on that, and find your drawings in the automatic save file location. It saves them as an AC dollar file, and all you've got to do is rename them to a DWG, and you've got an exact copy of your drawing saved at that time when the automatic save kicked in. If I go back to Open and Save and talk more about this creating a backup copy, this is useful. Sometimes your DWG can get corrupted, and even though you do an audit or a check on the drawing itself, it might not work. So you've got a BAK file. Let me show you what I mean. If I go down here to my Windows Explorer, Demo 01 and Demo 02 have got BAK files. That's where I've saved the actual DWG file, and it's put there a BAK file in the folder for me. So make sure that you've got that ticked, create backup copy with each save. The reason being is you can then rename that BAK file to a DWG if the original DWG doesn't work. It does happen, not often, it's quite rare, but it does happen that a DWG file gets corrupted and you've got no way of getting it back. So then you go to your backup copy, your BAK, name it as a DWG, and you've got a backup copy of that drawing saved at the time. And you can see there's the AC dollar extension right there for the automatic saves every 10 minutes as well. That's how you create your backup files, and it's up to you how you manage those backup files. Entirely up to you, because sometimes you might have an organizational standard for that. Sometimes you might set it up personally, so it all works with your local machine and perhaps your personal server drive that's available to you on your company network, for example. But my suggestion is always have an automatic save. 10 minutes is good. Don't go any lower. It will drive you insane. And always, always, always have this box ticked. Create a backup copy with each save. Yes, it does take up disk space, but you've got that backup copy if the DWG gets corrupted. So that's how you create your backup copies in AutoCAD Electrical.